in 1971 and in 1989.
But the UNP.
You see, well, the UNP, it's so weak now that, I don't think it's even a political party anymore. They have given up their symbol, they have given up their color, they have given up their leader, they have sought leadership with someone else. So it's a political party in an advanced stage of collapse. You see, so this is where the danger is. I mean, the instability will be introduced mainly through the personality of the opposition candidate. That's number one. Then number two, some of the promises that he has held out to the people. Now the danger here is this, that this is something that the English speaking public should take into very careful consideration. Even if they don't have concerns about the personality of the opposition candidate, there is still this major factor that there are some very unrealistic promises that have been given out. Now, if you take this 10-point policy declaration that was put out by the opposition candidate, what we find here is that one of the promises is that the salaries are going to be increased by 10,000 rupees. Now, this is not the UNP or the SLFP that's making this promise, because had those two parties made this promise, well, people wouldn't really take any notice of it. But remember this is a whole collection of parties who are engaged in a game of one-upmanship. That is something that everybody has to remember. The game of one-upmanship goes to the extent of, now what is the color of the candidate? Who know, how many people in this country know what the color of this party that the common opposition candidate is contesting under? Nobody knows that. It's yellow. But do you see yellow at a rally? No. You see either green or red. It's mostly red. Because there is this game of one-upmanship between the UNP and the JVP to claim as much credit as possible. And the JVP basically is winning that, to claim as much credit as possible for the joint opposition campaign. So there is this game of one-upmanship. Now, it is in the context of this game of one-upmanship that this promise of rupees 10,000, the salary increase of rupees 10,000 is relevant. Because in a scenario where the opposition candidate gets elected, there will be a parliamentary election following soon upon that. Now, before that parliamentary election, they are going to be compelled to increase the salaries. Right? They are going to be compelled to increase the salaries, and the JVP is going to push for that. Now, when that happens, there's going to be absolute chaos, because another promise that they have given is they are going to reduce taxes. So you reduce taxes and increase salaries with what? They'll have to print money. So there will be an element of instability introduced into this country. One, it's political. Then if the salaries are not increased, the whole country is going to erupt in strikes, in lockouts. There will be economic and industrial chaos. And then half the people will be in jail. Because the candidate, that is another one of the promises that have been trotted out on the campaign. Half of them in jail, strikes, lockouts, industrial chaos, political chaos. That's the end of Sri Lanka. So on the 26th, what you will be deciding will be whether you want a country to live in or not. And what I would advise people is, if you have dual citizenship, or if you have permanent residence in another country, by all means experiment. If you don't have that, and if your only hope is Sri Lanka, then I would say ensure that the status quo remains.
Thank you very much, Chandra, for joining us, and we'll be back with you at the same time, and goodbye.